Good evening. This is All India Radio Kohima. I'm Jonas Yandan with Evening News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says main objective of the nation is to modernize itself and be self-reliant. Nagaland Department of School Education directs heads of schools on school uniforms. Union Minister Giriraj Singh stresses on the need to frame village-level disaster management plans. And Kohima Traffic Police issues traffic regulations in view of Nagaland Legislative Assembly session. As we start the bulletin, we appeal our listeners to stay safe from COVID-19 by following these 4 simple steps. Get fully vaccinated, wear a face mask, maintain 6 feet for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that the main objective of the nation is to modernize itself and to be self-reliant. He said that the eyes of the whole world are on us in the circumstances created by COVID-19, a new world order that is emerging, and India has to develop itself at a faster pace. Addressing virtually the valedictory function of the 96th Government Foundation course at Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration today, the Prime Minister asked the professionals to keep the goals of 21st century India in mind, the goal of building an Atmanirbhar Bharat and the goal of laying the foundation of a new modern India. Addressing the gathering, Prime Minister said that this batch of trainee officers was special as it was beginning its work on the 75th year of the nation's independence, and they would be responsible for the development of the nation over the next 25 years. Addressing the officer trainees, he said that Sardar Patel's vision of service and duty is the most important part of training. He said that as long as they are in service, the yardstick of this service should be the principles of service and duty. The Prime Minister said if they work with principles of duty, they will not find any work burdensome. Nagaland Department of School Education has directed all heads of schools to strictly implement the school uniforms introduced by the department. In a notification, the department has informed the district education officers, sub-district education officers, and heads of government elementary schools that the decision was taken to improve the standard of school uniform and also to ensure that students are dressed appropriately and with dignity. It expressed concern that some school heads are still forcing their students to procure and wear old school uniforms. The notification stated that no children should be asked to purchase school uniforms at any cost, as it is the responsibility of the central and state government to provide free school uniforms to all children studying in government schools till completion of elementary education. It further cautioned that disciplinary action will be initiated on the schools violating the direction of the department. Rural Development and Panchayat Raj Minister Giriraj Singh today stressed the need to frame village-level disaster management plans to mitigate the challenges in the event of a disaster. He said disaster management should be kept in mind while making a master plan for the development of panchayats in the country. Releasing the disaster management plan of the Ministry of Panchayat Raj in New Delhi, the Union Minister said since 2001, around 80 crore people have been affected directly or indirectly due to disasters in different parts of the country. He emphasized that people's participation and community education in disaster management. Singh urged the state government to take initiatives for disaster management at village and panchayat levels. Under the disaster management plan released by the Panchayat Raj Ministry, every Indian village have a disaster management plan. It will focus on community-based disaster management planning and coordination from the national level to village level. The Kohima Traffic Police has issued traffic regulations in view of the Nagaland Legislative Assembly session to be held from 19th to 25th of this month as part of the security arrangement. According to the regulations, only vehicles with appropriate car passes will be allowed entry to the Assembly Secretariat. No vehicle will be allowed to be parked by the roadside from 6 a.m. onwards during assembly sessions from BSNL Telephone Exchange till Classic Island, from Raj Bhavan till MS Classic Island, from Classic Island to Assembly Secretariat via Rasu Point and High School, and from the new CM official residence, Bezocha, to Assembly Secretariat. Heavy vehicles will not be allowed to ply in Kohima town during assembly session from 6 a.m. till the session is over. All loading and unloading of goods in Kohima town should be completed by 6 a.m. during assembly session. Heavy vehicles will not be allowed to be parked along D Block Road. The police have further informed that it will dow away defaulting vehicles and the charges will be borne by the vehicle owners. This news comes to you from All India Radio, Kohima. You can also listen to this news bulletin on News on Air app and YouTube channel AIR News. To commemorate the celebration of 75 years of India's independence, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, we present India at 75 quiz with AIR News Kohima, a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history every Thursday in the Evening News Bulletin. And here goes our question of the week for English News Bulletin. Who started the Home Rule League? I repeat, who started the Home Rule League? Listeners can send the responses to the question to our email airnewskohimaindia75@gmail.com or WhatsApp to 9485-239950 along with name and address. The first correct answer received from the participants will be selected as the winner and will be announced in tomorrow morning news at 7:30 a.m. Nagaland Chief Minister Nipirio has extended greeting on the occasion of Holi to all who are celebrating. In a tweet, Rio expressed hope that the Festival of Colours will bring joy, delight and hope. The Chief Minister also wished the people a safe and happy celebration. Nagaland today reported 3 fresh COVID-19 cases and 10 recoveries. Dimapur reported 2 of the fresh cases, while Mugukchung reported 1. With this, total case detection in the state has gone up to 35,458. 10 recoveries were also reported, taking the total recovery to 33,177. Meanwhile, 1 death from the infection was also reported today, taking the tally to 754. Nagaland Board of School Education will be organizing training on school leadership program for heads of secondary and higher secondary institutions. The program will include both government and private schools. The training comprises of 6 modules, with 1 module planned every fortnight in a dual mode of offline and online sessions. The second and third modules will be conducted offline on 26th of April, while the rest of the modules will be online. Juba Merin Jami, who worked as investigator in Audience Research Unit of AIR Kohima, passed away this evening at CIHSR Hospital after a brief illness. Juba Jami joined service at All India Radio Kohima in 1987. He is survived by his wife and 3 children. Officers and staff of AIR Kohima have extended condolence to the bereaved family. A message from the head of office, All India Radio Kohima, stated that his death is a great loss to the Audience Research Unit of AIR Kohima station. And now 20 news, here are the main points again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says main objective of the nation is to modernize itself and be self-reliant. Nagaland Department of School Education directs heads of schools on school uniforms. Union Minister Giriraj Singh stresses on the need to frame village-level disaster management plans. And Kohima Traffic Police issues traffic regulations in view of Nagaland Legislative Assembly session. That is all we have in this evening news bulletin. Good night.